Medical disclaimer. The content of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing discussed in this podcast should be taken as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or a qualified healthcare professional before starting any exercise program, diet, or supplementation.
Welcome to Iron Insights, Episode 3.
That's better.
That's better. So tell us about your training split. We have Haley, my wife, on today, and we're going to pick her brain about her training and see what she does.
So my split is 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days. So I do quads and hams for 1 leg day. I do a pull day, back and biceps, a push day, chest, shoulder, triceps, and then hams and glutes together.
So it's essentially like a push legs, pull legs.
Essentially,
kind of,
yeah.
That's what I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to switch to.
Yeah, I do
Back to
four
at least.
4 training days a week, 3 off days, and I just schedule my rest days around work.
Yeah, yours sounds exactly like mine. Well, what mine's going to be, I'm changing mine back. I tried to go back to a bro split for a little while.
Yeah.
With the way my schedule is, like, I'll hit chest. For example, this week I hit chest, I think Monday, and then I'm not going to get to train it again until, like, maybe Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
So this is, like, just not frequent enough, or I'll have weeks where I'm less busy, and then it's, like, almost training too much, so.
What's a bro split?
You want to take it?
A bro split, also known as a pro split, is when you literally pick essentially 1 body part per day of the week and just focus solely on that 1 body part. Like, rather than doing like a pull day, you would just do back. Then you'd have like a separate arm day. You'd have a separate, instead of doing a push day, chest, shoulders, tries, you do just chest or shoulders in their own day, which does have a benefit, especially when you're more advanced.
You had me doing a bro split at one point in time.
Yeah, it works.
That's what
I was gonna say I literally had an arm day like 3 years ago.
Bro split is probably my favorite split ever. Like,
It is. It's fun because you just go in, you focus on that 1 body part, and especially
annihilate that one thing.
yeah, if you need to prioritize a certain body part, it works. Now, like, I'm assuming, and you can go more into this, that females typically focus more on lower body, so they kind of push.
I think so.
Like in general.
In general, yeah, I think so. I feel like it's more common now for like more girls to do like 2 or 3 lower body days.
Yeah.
I actually was doing 5 days a week and just went down to 4 days. But with my 5 days, I was still only doing 2 leg days and I was doing 3 upper body days. But that's probably because I'm figure and my division is very much so focused on symmetry and shoulders and back as well.
Like a female bodybuilder would probably do more of like a standard bro split,
right?
Like where it's prioritization, but all the other female divisions typically have more of a priority on like lower body.
Mm-hmm.
But figure, I guess, not so much because you need a lot of like shoulder and lats too, right?
Yeah.
So that's more balanced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel like I do at least even days or even like 1 more upper day than lower day. Whereas I feel like most wellness girls only do legs. Like most of them don't lift upper body at all, which is one reason why like I don't think I could do the wellness division. Is I just love lifting upper body.
Yeah.
Like I think it's much more enjoyable. Depending on the day, I don't know. I like a good leg day too, but. And then bikini girls, I feel like they do a lot more lower body, and then they'll throw in like 1 upper body day and just do all of upper body or something like that.
Which is kind of like, to me, is almost counterintuitive to what like we do, because with hitting, like, cause I know some girls hit legs like 3-4 times a week, and like to me, being able to hit if you can hit legs 3 to 4 times a week, like. I don't know if you're recovering that well, if like you're just not hitting them hard enough. Or like...
Well, I feel like they split them up. It's just like 1 day is hamstrings, 1 day is quads, 1 day is glutes, and they probably like really kind of split it up.
I don't think like a male would ever do like a full glute day. Maybe we should start.
I don't know. I don't really want to.
Just come out like next year on stage like gigantic glutes.
I said that glutes was your weaker body part this past show.
I was talking to Jim about this today because Jim is like prioritizing glutes a lot this off season. I am too.
I love it.
Like a separate ham glute day, but there is like, as funny as this might sound, like when you see a guy get up on stage and he looks great, but he has like no glutes, it doesn't look good in trunks.
No.
Like, you need to fill out the trunks, and you need glutes.
The whole package.
When
gotta
they
have the whole
it
package.
reminds me of, or I don't know why I think of this, but like they're soggy, like these soggy glutes.
Yeah, you can't have like trunks that aren't pushing against them.
Because
And, like,
there's no
the
fat
sleeves.
anymore either, so they just kind of like the skin just sags there.
Yeah.
There's no glute.
Yeah.
So we all need to prioritize glutes. We
I'm
feel
not
that.
doing a glute only day.
Not a glute only day. Well, the ham glute day is close enough. That's as close as we're gonna get.
So you guys both do 2 leg days.
Yeah, we've been doing quads together primarily on Tuesdays, and then on Saturdays typically I do ham glutes.
Okay, so you split it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just fit it whenever I can. Go back to the strength split thing. I was doing like chest only, or like bro split, pro split, whatever. What I noticed is like I'll get through my first 2 chest exercises, maybe get a third one in, and it's kind of like legs, where it's to the point where like, I'm so just like
You got nothing left in the tank.
And I like this last chest day. This is what made me change my split back. This last chest day, I tried to do like a 4th and 5th exercise, and both of them just felt detrimental. Like it actually just hurt my shoulders. And I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it.
So something I like to do, like, and this is what I did actually my whole last prep, and probably something I'll start doing again. Like Monday is typically my chest and shoulder day, right? But it's like you said, if you go all out on chest and you do chest first, you really don't have much in the tank left for shoulders, at least not to do heavy compound movements, like go all out. So what I would do is like have your like heavy chest day one week and then just do more blood volume and hypertrophy work for delts. Just isolation movements, lateral raises, cable exercises, just cram as much blood in there as possible without using heavy load. And then vice versa, the following day, week, do delts first, do your heavy compounds, your presses, your heavier work, then do the same thing of hypertrophy and blood volume for chest. And for me, I found that was a good, like the perfect storm, like the perfect mix up where you can recover well and hit both of them heavy and overload them, but not within the same session. Right. And then alternating that, you get a good balance.
You know, like that. I'm probably going to try to do it more with, obviously we'll get triceps in there too.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably do more heavy loading with triceps versus shoulders. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on what you got to prioritize.
Right.
But I found that worked really well. Like same thing like you just said, like my last chest day I did incline Smith press, I did flat dumbbell press, and then I did pec deck flies. And by the time I was done with those 3, I was finished. Like I had nothing left, just like with legs.
Yep.
So I feel like a lot of people would be listening and they'd be like, you do 3 exercises,
that's not
like
much.
that's not
Yeah.
a lot. Like, so I feel like you need to dive into what the sets within those exercises actually look like
So,
for
Well,
you.
probably better just to talk about leg day then, like, because it looks similar, but
I'll tell you quick my chest day. It's super simple. It's almost so simple on paper it sounds like funny. It was really incline barbell on the Smith machine. I did reverse pyramid, meaning my first set was my heaviest, and then I had 2 other sets that were lighter and higher reps. So my first set was 405 for a set of 6. Then I dropped the weight 40 pounds, 365 for a set of 8. Then my third set, I dropped another 40 pounds, 325 for a set of 10.
but you're not doing drop sets. You're actually taking time.
No, like 3 separate sets.
Just back
yeah,
off
yeah,
sets.
just
Okay.
back off sets. So that's like a reverse pyramid style. Your first being your heaviest, then the next 2 are lighter, higher reps.
I feel like I do a lot of that.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's better for like your heavy compound movement of the day because then you're not exhausted by the time you build up to your top working set. So I like reverse pyramids for that. Then if I do a reverse pyramid on my first movement, I always try to do a standard pyramid on my second movement, which is like you're a little bit pre-fatigued by the time you get to your heaviest set. So it's a different style. So then I did I did flat dumbbell press, 110 pound dumbbells for a set of 15. Then the second set was 130s for a set of 12. And then the third set was 150s for a set of 10. And by that time, like I was so exhausted from the first exercise, that's all I needed. And then literally I did the pec deck flies, 3 sets of 15, just straight sets at the same weight. And that was it. My chest was totally fried after that because I applied enough intensity to the first couple movements. And then that's how I like to do it too. It's different rep ranges. So the first exercise, I'm in the 6 to 10 range. The second exercise, I'm in the 10 to 15 range. The third exercise, 15 to 20. So you're getting a variety of rep ranges within the same session. So
Yeah, no, I like that.
I feel like a lot of people probably, what they're not getting out of their training is the figuring out how to train to that intensity and
Yeah.
how, because I feel like each person is a little bit individual in how they create that intensity. And I
Yeah.
guess it probably depends on what body part too, but I feel like what, that's 9 total sets, but they're all
Yeah, it's not much.
but they're all so
Hard,
intense.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like most people cannot get themselves into that zone. And like even when they think they're in that zone, it's like we've said it before, but their training to failures really have probably 2-3 reps in reserve. And they think they're like, to them it starts to hurt, they're done. Versus like going to the point where you literally can't finish another rep is different.
Yeah, because a lot of people reach mental failure before they reach physical failure. It's two different things. And reaching actual physical failure takes a lot of mental effort. And a lot of people, it takes time. It's almost like a skill to develop that over time. But then, like, for example, like the leg day we did, we only did 3 working sets per exercise, but it was a little bit different of a strategy where each set we did something different. So like our first set of each exercise was just a straight set to failure of the heavyweight with some static holds at the top on the last 4 reps. Our second working set was a cluster set, and then our third working set was a drop set. So it's like we're kind of applying different intensity techniques to each set. So it's almost like each set was its own thing. So that's why it was such little volume to be totally fried at the end.
I feel like a lot of people don't apply those intensifiers though, like
Because they hurt.
doing
They don't.
drop sets, I don't know, and like having a training partner to help, you know, push those last few reps that
Right.
you normally wouldn't get yourself.
Well, it's like if you really want to see, I mean, in my opinion, like this is an easy, safe way to really actually truly train to failure. If you get on the hack squat, like put, I don't know, 50 to 75%, whatever you would normally do on there, and then just literally go until you get stuck at the bottom.
Yeah,
See
literally
how long
get
it
stuck.
actually takes. See how many reps you can actually do to the point like someone else has to actually pull it out, and someone will be able to do way more than what they think they can, like way more, because to get to that point where you literally can't stand back up, like that would be like your true failure. People stop way before that,
Right.
and people think that it's close, but it's really like probably another 5 to 10 reps before you actually physically can't stand up.
Right. And I think a lot of that would be mental. Like you think this is the last one you could possibly do. Bless you.
Thank you.
You think you get to mental failure before physical failure, but then also I feel like fear. I mean, there's a lot of exercises that some people would be not machines, I guess, per se, but
There's a certain like intelligent aspect to it too. You're not going to try to train to failure on a barbell press without a spotter. Like,
right.
And even then, you probably still shouldn't necessarily train to complete failure if there's not like to the point where someone actually, unless it's like you have a really good spotter that can actually pick it for you. Free weight things are a little bit different compared to like machines. It's a lot easier. Most of the things we do, well, I don't know what your other days, but for me, most of my exercises are on machines, so I can actually hit that point.
Right. Yeah, so I guess that would take the fear aspect out of it. I think the thing that I struggle with the most is hitting form failure before physical failure.
And that's what would happen on like a barbell squat or deadlift. You know what I mean? Usually your form's going to look awful before you reach failure. Unless you're like very, very, you know, have a lot of skin in the game. You've been doing it a while and your form's like impeccable. But for most beginners, when you would make someone a program, you wouldn't have them do failure training on a barbell exercise.
Right.
You'd have them do like straight sets, progressive overload, but save failure for like the more safe exercises.
Like extensions.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, even if you do on an extension, like, when someone starts to get to the point of failure on an extension, like, or any exercise really, most people you're going to see changing form, changing technique, where they're, like, using momentum, they're kind of shortening up the reps, kind of, like, swinging themselves, doing different things to, like, totally maintain so the first rep looks like last rep, even when the last rep you're failing on. Like, that is, like, it's very hard to do. Like, in order to force yourself to keep your form, like, the same the whole way through, even when you're actually failing, like, that is very difficult.
Well, it's like, what do you see most people do in the gym, like when they don't have experience, right? When it starts to burn and they get close to failure, super fast reps. They're just trying to get it done as quick as they can.
Right,
Like
right.
they don't want to stay in that pain. They just want to get it over
They're
with.
trying to avoid it and try to get around it, but it's so backwards to me because like that's what you need, that's what you
Yeah,
want. Like,
you chase it. Yeah,
right, you want to lean into that failure because like that's going to give you the results you want, even though it hurts. But I feel like a lot of people can't understand that aspect,
Yeah.
and as soon as things start to hurt, they're like, oh, this isn't what I want.
yeah,
Do you find utility in partial reps at the end too, like
yeah.
on a leg extension?
yeah.
Okay, I was
Definitely.
gonna say I do that as well. So I keep a very structured logbook on, and this is new for me within the past few months. I used to not track anything; it was all just in my head. I like knew what I normally put on. I knew what I
Yeah.
did last week. I just, how am I feeling today? If I can go heavier, I go heavier. If I can't, I can't. And then I feel like I would always try to just lift to failure, whatever reps that would be. I'd have a goal in mind, but if I got more than that or less than that, whatever.
Have you ever kept a logbook? How do you feel about logbooks? And I also want to ask you, now that you have one versus not having one before, what you think? Because I hate them. I can't do it.
No, I think they're important to a T. Like, I always tell people, like, some people get fixated in the logbook. Like, they track everything. They micromanage every aspect of their training. Like, for example, if I'm doing, like, a single arm cable curl, I'm not logging the weights I'm doing because, number one, the reps I'm going to do are always different. The point in the workout that I'm doing them is always different. The intensifier that I use may be always different. The gym that you're at might be different. And a cable at one gym is not the same as a cable at another gym.
Well, there's 3 different cables in one gym, though,
yeah,
that
so
are
it's
also
like,
all
so
different.
if you're using like a different cable and it's like 40 pounds in this one is like 50 on that one, 70 on that one.
Right.
So it's like, there's too many variables to track. If you know on your program you're supposed to do 3 hard sets 20, then just do 3 hard sets 20 and you just know to do that. But when it comes to like progressive overload for standard basic movements, I think it's good to track, right? I always encourage clients of mine when I make them a program is to pick one exercise per body part and track that exercise. Okay. That's your main steak and potato exercise. That's what you're tracking. You make sure you're either moving up in reps or weight every week. Then beyond that, and then when I get someone into the practice of logging stuff, I always warn them, don't do this too much. Don't get too indulged in it. I don't want you tracking every little thing you do. Stay in the zone of the workout. Don't get distracted by the logbook. But certain things, it does hold some like value.
I used to bench, like I would just track my bench.
Yeah.
Like, that would be it.
And something to add to that, like something important when you transition from like an off season or a maintenance to a prep, obviously the cardio goes up, the food comes down, and that's how the prep goes. One of the main indicators of losing muscle is losing too much strength. Now, naturally in a prep, you're going to lose some strength by the end. It's just going to happen. But if you see someone have like a dramatic drop off in strength, like really quick, that's an indicator, okay, you're cutting the food too fast. You're probably losing some muscle tissue. Slow down. And I think one of the best indicators of that is your strength. So if I'm doing the 150-pound dumbbells at the beginning of prep for sets of 12, and I can pump out 3 good sets of 12, and then all of a sudden 4 weeks in my prep, I can do like 6. I know, okay, I'm moving too fast. Like something happened, I lost some muscle. You know what I mean? So now
It is helpful in that aspect.
yeah,
then.
like, so you should be aware of where you're at strength-wise, so you know it's not too dramatic of a difference when you change your diet.
And I feel like for people who have just been doing this for a while, like they might not have to keep a logbook. Like
You just know.
You
Yeah.
just know. Like you normally do the 150s
Yeah.
for this amount of reps, and 4 weeks later you're like, oh, well, now I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, the other thing too is when you only do 3 chest exercises, it's a little bit easier. Mentally,
It's easier to keep track of
so
stuff.
there's that too.
True.
But even I don't know. Even when I was like doing more exercises, like in college or whatnot, like I feel like my memory is like for the most part not the greatest. But like whenever
It's terrible.
whenever I would always be able to remember kind of like where things were at within a certain percentage. Like
I would say it's very important when you start out, because I do remember starting out and really trying to like have progressive overload and achieve that. So whenever I was starting out, I remember really keeping track of what weights I used for like barbells, for like dumbbell presses, even on like a leg press, like I would keep track of like how many plates I would do, just to like try to do more the next week, either weight or reps. But then for years then, once I got to a point where I feel like I had the beginner gains of, every week you were like adding weight or adding reps. And then once you get to a point where you kind of are plateauing off a little bit, then I got away from it. Didn't use the logbook at all, or keep track of anything. And then just recently I got back into it.
And I think a point too, to like make sure people are aware, when you're using the logbook, all your variables have to be the same.
Right.
So say I'm doing bench press, and okay, this week I'm doing 225 for a set of 10, and then next week I'm doing 230 for a set of 10, but my butt's coming off the bench and I'm using momentum, I'm coming down faster and being more explosive. That's not true progress. True progress is, okay, I'm doing a 2-to-1 tempo, 1-2-1, 1, 2, 1. And I'm doing that for a set of 10. And then the next week, I'm doing the same exact thing with more weight or more reps. So, a perfect example is like a squat. Say I'm doing squats with like shoulder width stance, and then all of a sudden I do like a sumo low bar squat. I move the bar lower on my back. I improve my leverage. That's not improving strength. So that's more of a powerlifting mentality than a bodybuilder. You're training for hypertrophy, your variables have to be intact. So even, when you hit a plateau, rather than moving up in weight, you could change the tempo, do 3-second negatives, something like that. There's other ways to go about progressive overload than just pure weight. And I think that's the pitfall of the logbook. You get too married to just weight performance, and then you start to lose out on these other variables. And then eventually, when you get super strong, which is going to take a long time, but it will happen, your risk of injury goes way up if you're just married to the logbook all the time. So there's a million ways to do progressive overload. Don't just be married to weight every week all the time.
And the other thing is that so many other variables need to be the same as well. Not only just like with tempo and your form, but then like, are you training in the morning? Are you training at night? Like, how many meals have you had in before you did this leg day? How was your sleep the night before? Because I noticed that I'm a night shift worker, so I'll do 3 12-hour night shifts in a row, and then I will, after those 3 shifts, I will immediately, after I sleep, I will train. But normally I've had 4 hours of sleeping during the day, which is, you don't really get much REM sleep at all, if any, and then I'll train, and that day I'm always very, very weak. But I note that in my book that this was out of night shift, so I'm probably not going to get as many reps as I did last week. But I'm always trying to, I guess, keep the same form and tempo.
This is kind of like exactly why I don't keep a logbook, because there's so many variables, and it's like for me mentally, it's just easier to not even, like, if I have one exercise or one movement that I'm trying to like progress. Like for me, honestly, it's the leg extension.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to like each time I'm trying to bump up a little bit until we get to like the next change in reps. But like other than that, like it's too much. Like, and I feel like a lot of people like almost overcomplicate things to the point that it's almost better for people to just almost not have one. It
becomes like paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, there's just too much.
And now it's like the illusion of progress.
Yeah.
Right.
Because are you really tracking these variables anymore, or are you just trying at any length to beat your logbook from the previous week?
Right.
And that's when you gotta take a couple steps back a little bit, put the logbook away for a little bit, and just have fun again. But that was a really good point you made. The lifestyle thing, like variables too, are a huge component.
Or like what
training.
you trained the day before.
Yeah.
Like if I have a really heavy leg day, and then the next day I'm doing back. Sometimes I lose some strength just from doing back, just because my whole body is fatigued and inflamed from the day before. But yeah, since I went several years without a logbook, and then just in the last 2 months have incorporated it, I would say that one, I absolutely despise the distraction. I feel like I can't just put my head down and go, or then I'll go half of the workout and realize I didn't log anything, and then I'm trying to remember. So I don't love the distraction, but I'm getting better at that. I feel like it is just taking me time to just like, okay, once I'm done, just plug in what I did, rather than between each one constantly updating it. So that I don't enjoy, but what I do like is the fact that I don't think I would go heavier on some things. I feel I do kind of get married to like the same weight on certain exercises, but like seeing what I did prior and being like, oh, let me just try to add 5 pounds or something, and then being able to make that the same reps, I'm just, okay, maybe I can add 5 more pounds. So I feel like it does help me to push myself a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So just, I don't know, being able to see the progression. Like one example is Bulgarian split squats. I do them with a dumbbell on one side, contralaterally loaded. And I started with 50s, and my coach she saw me do a video and was like, you should probably do 55s next week. I sent her the video next week, and she's like, you got 10 reps again, you should probably do 60s. And I was just like, okay, well, I kept getting 10 reps, and now I'm up to the 80 pounds. And so in 2 months, I added 30 pounds to a Bulgarian split squat. And I feel like if I wasn't keeping track, sending videos, that type of thing, the 50s, I had good contraction, felt great. But I probably wouldn't have pushed myself every week to continue to go up.
I feel like that's a good point too, though, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize not necessarily just how strong they are, but like how much they can actually push it.
Right. Like I still have yet to fail. Like I'm supposed to only make 10 reps, and I still have yet to not make 10 reps, and I've gone up every week.
And that's a great exercise to track.
It is a good one.
Especially because it has a lot to do, like you said, the balance as well. And I like to do them that way, like you explained, where you're holding the dumbbell on one side. And I think that's like a perfect example of an exercise you should track to gauge progress.
Right.
But then it's like you said, if you're micromanaging every little thing you do, it gets too tedious, almost where it's distracting during the workout.
Right. And then the other thing is that I feel like if you're out of like your home gym where you normally work out, when you go to other places or you're, visiting somewhere, and then you're just like, well, I don't know what to do because at home on this hack squat I did this weight, but this hack squat is different. I don't know what to do type thing. Whereas you have to be able to be flexible and be able to load a new machine and figure out where you're at.
Right. Like it matters, but it also really doesn't.
Right.
At the same time, it's like just push yourself hard. It'll be all right.
And the other thing that I feel is a disadvantage is that like if you don't make the same weight or the same reps as last week, it just like doesn't make you feel good.
It's discouraging.
It's very discouraging. And like I said, with all of these variables, sleep being one of the biggest ones for me, sometimes it'll happen like over and over again, and it's hard to say. You shouldn't just say, oh, that was a bad training session because you didn't hit exactly what you did the week prior.
Yeah. Taylor, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about because we come from similar backgrounds, powerlifting. When you are supposed to like, hit a certain number in the gym for a certain amount of reps and you don't get it, it's like literally devastating.
It's depressing.
Like you want to walk away from the gym. You don't even want to train anymore. You're like, because I'm just going home today. This was like a waste of a workout. I didn't hit my goal.
In front of the bus.
Yeah, like you're so depressed afterwards. You're like, oh my God. But that's a good point. If you're too married to that, it's like, well, I could still have a great workout by doing other stuff.
Right.
But it's so demoralizing not to get that number. But also it's a great motivator because you're so fired up the next week like to attack that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would say another thing with females that I'm noticing, because my logbook is very much so not consistent, is hormones. And depending on where I'm at in my cycle, my strength is very much so different.
Females and their hormones.
Yeah, it's something we don't have to deal with.
Say that would be a whole separate thing. You're lucky that your hormones change in 24 hours.
I guess. Or are we lucky? Never mind, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, probably. So one of the things that you said about how like you realized that you could go heavier. Like, I feel like, at least for a girl, like this is almost like an opposite problem. Like girls, I feel like should lift heavier than what they do. I feel like a lot of times they don't lift as heavy as they probably should in order to get the results they want because they don't want to get too bulky.
Absolutely agree.
Right? And I feel like guys have the opposite problem where they're almost like
Too heavy to where they're not doing it right.
Right.
Yeah.
To the point it's not even like recognized. Like, what is that? Is it supposed to be a curl? Is that a front raise? Like, what is that? But I was just that's all I was gonna say because I feel like that's something I see a lot with girls.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't understand it, but there is this theory that if you lift heavy, you're gonna get bulky. And if your diet is trash, you're gonna get bulky. And it literally is only diet and diet alone that is gonna make you gain weight or lose weight. Just purely lifting heavy will not make you gain weight.
I have a controversial
Oh, boy.
topic to bring up. I might get some hate for this. Girls in the gym that do extremely heavy hip thrusts.
They're not doing them right. I don't think so.
Like, I mean extremely heavy. Like, I see on a regular basis girls in the gym do, like, hip thrusts with, like
4 or 5.
Yeah, no, more like 5. It's like they just load up as many plates on as they can. And in my mind, I'm not saying hip thrusts can't be a good supplemental exercise for glutes. They definitely can be. But it's like you never see people going through the full range of motion when doing them. They're just focused on how many plates can I possibly put on this thing. And then, but even further than that, I think in my mind, okay, you're doing hip thrusts, but do you ever do squats or deadlifts? Because mechanically, like what is the finishing position of a squat or a deadlift is quite literally a thrust. But you're also getting all of those other muscles activated as well. So in my mind, it's like, shouldn't a lot of these people be doing squats and deadlifts and then using hip thrusts as a supplementary exercise in addition to it? Though it seems like a lot of girls seem to, probably because of social media and just just the sensationalism of the movement and the way it looks. It's like, I feel like a lot of girls prioritize that over basic compounds. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel like hip thrusts in general have become the societal norm for female booty building, and really it's not a great exercise for glutes. It's training glutes in the shortened position.
Most people aren't getting to the point of lengthening it though.
Right. So I mean, the hip thrust doesn't really allow for a lot of stretch of the glutes in general. So I feel like as far as targeting glutes and targeting hypertrophy, it can be supplemental, but it is not like the number one exercise.
That's what I mean.
All
wouldn't you rather see them do like a split squat, squat variations, deadlift variations, and then use that as like a supplementary movement on top of that versus prioritizing?
And I feel like a lot of girls start with hip thrusts too, so they can go so heavy. I personally,
it becomes an ego movement.
Yeah,
almost like a guy with a bench press. Girls are hip thrusts.
I end with them, and so ending with them, I really can't do a lot of weight. But even before that, I couldn't load too much on, or I would start to feel it in my quads. I'd feel it more in my hamstrings, but I would not feel it in my glutes. I think the glute focus RDL is one exercise that I've implemented in the last 2 months, and I feel it so much in my glutes, and they are so sore the next day. And I had never realized that you could bias your glutes in an RDL. I only ever felt them in my hamstrings.
When you say that, do you mean you're doing the top portion of the movement?
Yeah, so I'm not going down pretty far.
So you're going just below the knees and coming back up and contracting the glutes.
Yes.
Because I also...
And I'm pushing far back, so it's more of a back and forward than an up and down.
So that's actually an exercise that Dennis had showed me when I was prepping for the Olympia and when I was out in Arizona. On hamstring and glute day, we would alternate between, we would do like stiff-legged deadlifts, more of a stretch in the hamstring.
Yeah.
And then every other week, we would do Romanian deadlifts, which, like you said, more of an emphasis on just that upper contraction of the glute.
It's kind of like a good morning in a way.
Yeah, but I really felt it there. And it was like a lot of people, you don't see them doing that variation.
Yeah,
but
no,
it works.
not at all. And like I said, I feel it in my glutes during the movement. And I mean, the following day, like, no, it is that exercise that is like what is doing it. But yeah, I feel like the range of motion for hip thrusts and also like just like training it in the shortened position, not the stretched position, just isn't the end all be all for if you want to add size to your glutes.
Yeah. A few things to add. Like, I mean, I think a deep squat is probably the best glute exercise in my opinion.
The glute focus RDL is.
I mean, that's a good movement too. But I think getting like, because when you're in that deep squat, like your glutes,
Do you mean like feet wide and toes turned out?
Yes, but not like sumo wide.
Okay.
But like just like a shoulder width, hip width stance.
Yeah.
The feet slightly turned out.
I feel like it's also though going to depend on like femur length, because I squat, I feel it in my quads only.
All right. Anyway, well then say it's step
and that's
up,
how I leg
like
press
deep,
too.
Whatever. Okay. Anyway, but then to the hip thrust. One of the like super common things I see with girls is low back pain from those hip thrusts, because most of the time, like,
their pelvis is just tilting.
Yeah, it's just lumbar motion. It's not even.
It's not even the glute contracting. It's just pelvis tilting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why does my back hurt?" Usually, it's kind of like the same thing with the bench press. Like, people coming in with the shoulder issues, it's because they're just lifting way heavier than they should.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. Like, trying to tell these girls that, like, you really don't. You shouldn't be lifting this heavy. You don't even really. You're not. Actually, like, we'll go through some exercises and things to actually get them to actually like feel and engage the glutes, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've never felt this before. It's like, yeah, you're doing 4 or 5 with hip thrust, like, this doesn't quite add up, like, so.
Or you probably test their glutes and realize they're really weak in certain areas, and they're like, well, they shouldn't be weak if, like you said, you can hip thrust 4 or 5.
Right,
so.
and I think it comes down to kind of like any other movement, like you're using so many other compensatory things, or momentum and things that shouldn't be used that are to do that movement. If you're actually doing like a good hip thrust, I know whenever I use the actual like booty builder hip thrust machine, I'm not putting a lot on there. And it's just,
I have the same experience when I use that on a ham glute day. If I do the full range, like truly, I like barely any weight, and my glutes are like on fire. Like, it feels
and
like
like holding at the top too.
Yeah, like holding a contraction.
To be able, to hold that is very, very difficult, and then keeping a neutral spine the whole time and really just scooping your hips up.
Yeah.
And that's the part I think a lot of people don't realize is that neutral spine position. It's crazy because like side topic, but like this just last week I worked with 2 people that from last have their impingement, because whenever they would squat, they would basically fold themselves in half. And the problem there is like whenever you go to squat, you can't sit back and actually load into the glutes because your glutes are so weak that in order to kind of maintain your positioning, you have to lean forward to counterbalance yourself. And what happens is when you lean forward like that, it shortens the amount of space in the hip for your femur to come up. So it's essentially just pinching in that femur. So what they would do is they would go to squat, and then they would just they wouldn't be able to use their glutes and things would pinch in there, and then we would go to something like a leg press and they have the exact same experience because they're using way too much range of motion for what they're trying to do, and like just simply correcting form and getting them to actually engage glutes like totally takes that away.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy how just being able to actually like feel these movements, how much like progress people are able to make. But nobody can just drop the weight and do that.
Well, it's like you said, like sometimes you have to like start an exercise from scratch and just like build the weights back up. Your strength will come back. It just takes patience. You need to relearn to do it the right way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you got to drop the ego because that hurts, especially in the logbook.
Yeah, it's very tough for people to reset their exercises. I mean, I've had to do it before too, but it is important when if the, like, again, it really comes down to like reminding yourself what your goal is. If your goal is to, you know, not hurt yourself, but build muscle and be strong and healthy, like you want to actually get the most out of your contractions.
Yeah.
And I feel like you were saying, you kind of contradicted yourself because you were saying about how, like, girls don't lift heavy. And then we were saying about how...
Except glute thrusts. That's the only exception.
And then you're like, they need to drop the weight, that type of thing. But I feel like there is the same girls who are hip thrusting 405 are also lat pulled down like 40 pounds or something like that. And you're like, what's going on here? But I still do feel, in general, girls still believe that if they lift heavier, that they're just going to get bulky.
Yeah, which I don't understand. I don't even know like how that makes sense.
It's probably been going on since like
forever,
100 years ago.
I mean, like, I used to think that.
I know, but like, why?
At the very beginning, I don't know.
What is that?
But I also had no education on diet and did not follow a plan and ate like an asshole. So I don't know.
So how did you get started then? Where like explain your...
Like in the gym?
Yeah. Because you just said you had no education and you ate like an asshole. So...
Well, you want me to talk about training or diet?
I mean...
I feel like we've only been talking about
how
training
you got
thus far.
introduced to this lifestyle in general.
Well, you.
But like, do you have a tell from your... Like, tell from your...
My point of view?
Yeah.
So I was a gymnast for 14 years and was finishing my senior year of high school whenever I met you. And so up until then, all of my exercise had just been related to sports. And I mean, like, my gymnastics practices were 4 hours. The first hour was stretching, warm up, and conditioning. And then the next 3 hours was just doing the different events. And so I never really had to pursue weightlifting outside of the gym. It was always in our practice. We would do like conditioning with some weights, but they were really light and nothing was correct. And then, so I knew that my gymnastics career was finishing up and I'd met you and I'm like, well, I need to still exercise. I don't really know what I'm going to do. And then whenever I met you, you said, well, the gym is non-negotiable. So I don't know, like, you brought me into the gym. I made sure that the gym was closed and that nobody was there so you could run me through like every exercise and teach me what to do and how to do it. I spent 2 months of the summer, I guess, doing that with you, and then I went to college. You wrote me a plan and I did the plan.
Do you think having a background as a gymnast and like being, obviously gymnasts are like very strong from the standpoint of like they can control their body weight very well. I'm assuming that's like a huge advantage getting into lifting weights.
Yeah, I feel like at the beginning you were always like saying that I was more of a natural, and especially whenever I started benching, like flat benching, and I started at a much higher weight than any other girl probably would have.
Because even like think of a guy that goes to the gym that's strong and lifts heavy. Most guys cannot do a lot of dips, chin-ups. You know, they're not very good with body weight movements. And I think that's almost like an entirely different type of strength that I feel like if that's something you're good at going into the gym, you're already ahead of the curve.
True.
Because that takes a lot of stability, takes a lot of balance, it takes a lot of coordination. So that's already a lot of the skill components that make it difficult to learn lifting weights.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, I see what you mean there. And yeah, I would definitely say that gymnastics was very advantageous into helping me with weightlifting and weight training. And yeah, just the fact that I feel like I was pretty strong starting out than, like I said, what like a normal female, if they like hadn't been a competitive gymnast, would have been. And we did a lot of body weight stuff. I remember, my gosh, our conditioning for push-ups, it would be like 1,000 push-ups. It's not just, do 2 sets of 20. It was a lot of volume. Everything was in the hundreds or even 1,000 for things. So, and I feel one big thing that also did help me was that I had really good core strength that I feel like a lot of people lack. And so having that off the bat, I feel like was helpful for compound movements, because I did start out doing deadlift and squat that I don't do anymore. The only thing that I feel like gymnastics wasn't the most helpful with is that I had like a lot of back issues starting out and had some undiagnosed injuries that were kind of hard to maneuver through.
I didn't know what I was doing yet.
Yeah, no, you weren't a PT yet, but yeah, no, it was definitely helpful. And I don't know, just having like the mindset of a gymnast. I mean, like I was used to training 5 days a week, 4-hour practices. So I was used to going to the gym every day for multiple hours in a day. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, you made me a plan and sent me off to college. And I will say that I probably didn't execute in the way that my form probably wasn't 100% because I was kind of doing it on my own. But yeah, I loved it. I think you had me doing probably a bro split then.
Full circle.
Yeah, I did
Back to the bro
everything
split.
separate. My favorite was doing shoulders. I had just had one shoulder day where I just annihilated them. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you had a chest day, a back day, a shoulder day, leg day, and an arm day.
Pure bodybuilder.
Literally
out the gate.
right out of the beginning. And I remember that was whenever my leg soreness was probably at its peak. I remember I'd be like walking to class and I had a long walk and I'd had to go upstairs, and it was winter and I was in jeans, so they were really tight. And I remember being like, hey, I lifted quads 6 days ago and I still can barely bend my leg. Is that normal? But you had me doing 4 sets of 20 on squats, and I was going as heavy as I could for 20 reps.
You might have started out a little bit.
Now you're gonna get your payback next week. You're gonna get your karma when we reincorporate 20 rep
I'm
squats.
kind of looking forward to it.
I am
to be
too. I'm
honest.
excited.
I'm a little nervous. I'm definitely gonna throw up. It'll be fun.
That's how you started me out on everything, was 20 reps
Yeah.
of everything. I wasn't allowed to do like really anything less than that.
Yeah.
It was very much so high volume.
Which is what I was doing too, but I was still cycling through my reps at that point.
So you've been doing that for a long time.
Oh yeah. I love it. I've never not progressed with that.
Doing 20 reps of something is very difficult. I
Yes,
actually
it is.
can't say that unless it's a lateral raise or a curl that I will purposely do 20 reps of anything.
Honestly, I hate doing 20 reps of lateral raises or curls because it takes forever. Especially if I'm doing single arm curls and going back and forth, and like I have to total 40 reps. I'm just like, it's a lot of reps.
Well, that's why I always say, like, people talk about like compound lift, squat, bench, deadlift. It's like, yeah, like 1 rep maxes can be impressive, but show me a guy who can like deadlift 500 for a set of 20, and I'm impressed.
Right,
Like,
right.
show me a guy not who can bench 500 but can do 315 for a set of 20. You know, same thing with squats. You can squat 405 for 20. I'm impressed. I don't care if you squat 800 for 1. Like, the 405 for 20 is more impressive to me. It takes more guts. Like,
Yeah,
It's
no,
totally
definitely.
different.
yeah,
The level of pain you have to go through to do that is
yeah,
so different.
just mental anguish.
It's like you get the rep like 12, and like shit. There's 8 more of these I have to do.
Because not only is like the muscle fatiguing, but then from like a cardiovascular standpoint
And your
as well.
Your soul's fatigued after a session like that.
Gosh.
A set of 20 on squats is brutal. If you haven't done it,
Yeah, 4 sets too. I don't do 4 sets of anything anymore. Gosh, 4 sets of 20.
well, I feel like you can.
It probably took me an hour just to squat.
Well, I mean that's basically why I stopped squatting, which like I love squats, but
By the time
I
I
just-
warmed up and got through 80 reps.
It is a lot. Yeah.
But correct, you can tell me what you think. But I think for someone starting out, I think doing something more like that, where you're just kind of like almost skill acquisition of just getting the reps in, like practice.
It's like we said before, you need to do a lot of volume and a lot of reps because you get mechanically more conditioned to that movement. So you get better at actual doing exercises, but then also you can only apply so much intensity at that point. So you almost need to compensate for that lack of intensity with volume to get the job done. Versus when you're more advanced, it's the opposite. You train so intense, you don't need to do as much because you're so efficient at the movement and you can put so much effort into each movement that it doesn't take much to get the job done.
Yeah, it's really cool to see kind of how, at least how my training is, because it's literally exactly what's happened. Like,
Yeah.
from training from beginning to training now, like crazy.
It like
different.
switches roles.
Yes, it's really cool to see, like, look back and see, because like you don't realize it while you're in it.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you sit back and like look back at how different training, like if I look back at how I was training in college compared to now, I'm like, shake my head.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like that's what got me here, so
Yeah.
can't hate on it too much.
It worked.
Yeah, it definitely works.
Yeah, it's like a process over time. You graduate to the point where you can do low volume.
Some people never graduate to that point.
Some people never get there.
Yeah.
I feel like some people, though, I mean, like, I was scared to do low volume for a while. Since I started out at 20 reps, I feel like I wouldn't let myself do anything less than 12 reps. And I don't know why I was scared to, but my favorite was whenever I dropped my training down to like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And I was able to progress a lot because I was a lot stronger than what I had realized.
Yeah, I feel like for you that was really beneficial. I hate training that low because I feel like my risk for injury goes so high whenever I'm training like that heavy. It's not like.
Yeah, it's like for example, like when I was training chest the other day, like I said, I went up to 4 plates. I haven't done that in a while. I've done it plenty of times, but it's been typically lately I've been like stopping at 3 plates, just doing more reps. So going there, it's like you almost a little nervous. Not nervous, just like this is a lot heavier. But that's how heavy you need to go to that lower rep range.
Right.
I think as long as you warm up good, you're in control of the weight, and you're not using momentum and like being sloppy to get the weight up.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's the same. It's just kind of literally exactly what you said. It's like being that heavy in general is just like.
Yeah.
Because for someone, like, not to say like, it's always relative, but for someone else to train at their 6 rep range, the weight difference is like you can really mess it up and still be fine. Versus
Well, me, like my risk of injury is so much less than yours.
Versus,
I
like,
see what
Yeah, because
exactly
the
what
loads
you're
are so
saying.
much greater, and
Yeah.
regardless of how big and strong and muscular you get, the tendons and bones are still, you know.
So you slip up a little bit, it's a lot of
And,
damage.
and that's another thing people like don't get either. Like when you, it's kind of funny. I had this thought the other day, like that same workout I did. When I got done with like 405 and I racked it, my bones hurt, and I actually like felt like pain and like almost like shin splints, like in like going from my elbow to my forearm, just from gripping the weight. And I sprained my thumb too somehow. I don't really know how, but it still hurts.
Yeah,
But
talk about that.
I don't know what I did. I think I was gripping the bar so hard during my set. Like I somehow sprained my thumb. I have a little bit more movement in it now, but it was pretty much stuck like this for a few days, and it like hurt. And I was like, "What happened to my thumb?"
Oh my
'Cause I don't even remember this happening. But it's like in the gym, you have like adrenaline going, so like you might hurt yourself and you don't even know it because you just don't.
Well,
care.
tell the story about your pre-workout experience.
Oh well, okay. So what day was this? This was Monday. I got home from work. I was tired. I took a nap, and I woke up from the nap. And lately, I've been doing all non-stim pre-workouts because when I'm bulking, I try to cut down on my caffeine intake. So I'll have a little bit of coffee in the morning, but besides that, I do no stimulants, no caffeine. So the non-stim pre-workout I've been using, the serving size is 2 scoops. So I'm used to taking 2 scoops. I have this other pre-workout. It's like 300 megs of caffeine a scoop.
Oh gosh.
And I woke up from my nap. I was kind of tired. I was like, I got to go train. I was like, I'm going to take a little stim today. I haven't done it in a while. So I took 2 scoops of the stim one, not realizing the serving size was 1 scoop, not 2. And I got it mixed up with my non-stim one. So I took like 600 megs of caffeine. So next thing you
In
know,
probably like 15 minutes, like.
oh yeah, like I was driving to the gym. I was like, I feel amazing. I was like, I haven't felt this good in a while. I was like, I got to the gym and I felt so strong and like so focused. And then and the good thing is I probably would have had like anxiety or something had I realized it earlier. Like, oh shit, I did that. Like that's not good. My heart's gonna start racing. I'm gonna get like a panic attack or something. Because I'm like sensitive to stimulants. So then I had like an epic workout. Like I said, I went heavier than I have in like forever. I felt freaking great. And I'm driving home and I'm like, I still feel wired. I was like, and then I had a thought. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I took 600 mg of caffeine on accident. And it didn't click until I was like leaving the gym. But by that time, I had already calmed down a little bit and I had such a great workout. I was like, I feel good. I was like, I didn't sleep till like 1 a.m., but I felt great.
I feel like I think that could almost be beneficial.
Yeah.
To do that like once in a while.
Every once in a while, like if you have not on a leg day,
No,
because your heart will race too much. It's like,
no, definitely.
Imagine what you could have, like, now you should test it and do weeks of no caffeine again,
Yeah.
and then just test it with 1 scoop and see if you get similar.
see, the problem is that experience made me crave caffeine more again now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So now I relapsed on it hardcore.
Yeah, it'll do that.
So now I'm back to the stim workouts the past couple days.
I can't remember what what the actual dosage is, but I'm pretty sure that for the research I saw, it's like somewhere between. Because I remember for me, I looked at my body weight and it was like you could safely take up to like it was over 800 milligrams of caffeine.
In a 24-hour time period.
No, in a single dose for performance enhancement.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't Derek from like More Plates, More Dates do a video on this recently?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know if I saw it.
It's like something like the study showed there's still, say like you take 400 mg caffeine versus 800. Mm-hmm. Like there's an additional benefit from 800 you don't get from 400, meaning there's no like diminishing returns until you get to a pretty high dose.
Yeah, it's
but then also for someone our size that, our hearts are bigger and our blood pressure is probably a little bit higher. It's like,
is it worth it?
Probably not good for us too much, but
not.
No, I feel like it's better to almost like combine different types of stimulants. If you look at things like teacrine, theanine, and caffeine, like all like
the pre-workout that I took had all those things. So I doubled up on all of it. So I was like lit.
Well, those are like, I mean, those are my favorite types of stim pre-workouts that have those blends.
Yeah.
Essentially not blends.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it feels smoother, first of all, but then also it's just, you don't need as much.
I will say this though, when I'm on prep, I do pure coffee.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I don't do pre-workouts or anything with flavorings.
Why?
I just don't like it. I don't like having too many ingredients in the body. I feel cleaner when I just do straight coffee, black coffee.
Plus it saves calories.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I just crave black coffee. I was actually going to ask you guys if you had any when I got here.
I'm sure.
Oh, I do. I could have.
It's too late now though. I don't want to.
I could have. A bunch of different types of coffee.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever had that much caffeine. I think the most is like 400 or so. But I remember the very first time I took my first pre-workout ever, it was a scoop of C4, which like isn't anything special, but I felt like on top of the world. That was amazing.
Yeah, but you must have dabbled with some of the ones that have DMAA and stuff in them back when you were younger.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. I never got to use the original Jacked or like the original One More Rep or the original Craze. Have you got to use any of those?
Yes, I used the original Craze that they said had meth in it.
How was that?
I don't think I got a batch with meth, unfortunately. I was trying to, but it was pretty strong. But I have tried pre-workouts. This brings me to a funny story. I'll tell you. This is back when I was working at GNC. So this is when I was really young. I was working at GNC. I had the closing shift. I still had to go train that night after I closed at 9:30.
Jeez.
So the gym I was going to was only maybe 5-10 minute drive down the road. So I was going to get off my shift, go to the gym, train, then go home. So I had just got this new pre-workout that they were just selling. I forget what it was called, but the company didn't last long. It wasn't around long, but at the time it was new. And I'm like extremely sensitive to yohimbine, like super, super sensitive. I can take the tiniest amount and I'm way overstimulated. So, and this is the experience that taught me that. So I took this pre-workout that had yohimbine in it, right? And then I don't know what I was thinking. At GNC, we sold like the raw yohimbine bark capsules.
Oh my goodness.
Raw extract, super potent.
Oh gosh.
So I'm thinking like, these can't be that strong. It's the herb section. So I'm like, I take this pre-workout. And then at the time I was like trying to be in a fat burning phase. So I like read yohimbine's a good fat burner. So I was thinking. So I took these two servings of the yohimbine raw bark extract caps with this pre-workout. And I go to train legs.
Did you sleep at all that night?
No, not at all.
Gosh.
So literally, it was in like the fall time. And I went to the gym, I'm training legs. And I'm anxious. And I really don't get anxious typically. You know when you get like anxiety and you know you have it for no reason? You're like, wait, I'm not even nervous about anything. Why do I feel this weird feeling? That's what it was like. So I felt that on my way to the gym. Dreadful feeling. Yes. Dreadful. So I'm doing squats. In between sets, my heart is racing so fast that I'm like, I can't even do another set. My heart's still racing from the last one.
Oh, God.
So as I'm warming up, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like, so, but in my mind, now if I was smart, I would just say, all right, you know what? I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to call it a night, go home, try to relax, let this shit get out of my system. But when I was young, I was like, I'm not missing my squats. I was like, I have a program to follow. I'm getting these in no matter what. So I'm like forcing myself to do 20 rep squats, I swear, that night, which is like the worst thing you can do when your heart's already pounding out of your chest. So like I make myself do them. My heart's like it's like fucking pounding. I'm surprised I didn't die.
You're probably in like AFib,
Yeah, so like
RVR.
literally my heart's pounding out of my chest. And it got to the point I made myself do my full squat workout. And by the time I get done, like literally my heart won't stop racing. I'm getting lightheaded. I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to pass out. So I actually thought I was going to pass out. And literally it was like, I think it was like trick or treat in Nazareth or something at the gym I was at. So like the front door, I propped it open and I laid on the sidewalk in case I passed out so someone could find my body.
Oh my God.
Because my heart would just not stop racing. And I went home that night and I literally just like laid on the couch staring at the ceiling the whole night. I didn't sleep a second. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm never taking this Yohimbine stuff again. Now I do, like on prep, I'll incorporate it like 6 weeks out as a fat burner. But when I'm telling you, I'll do the tiniest amount you can possibly take. And I will never do more than that. And I will never take a pre-workout again with Yohimbine in it. I won't do it, never.
Yeah.
Every time I take a pre-workout, I read it, and if it has Yohimbine in it, I put it right down. I don't take it.
It's another thing.
Because after that experience, I'm like, I'm super... And then I researched it online, right? And like some people take like a lot of Yohimbine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how they do that. I could not... This stuff
feel like
messed me up.
I feel like people that say that have to be taking like a different... Because like...
Yeah.
Extracts or whatever. I think you always have to be taking something different.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you've read online, like people are like, oh, I'm taking like 25 milligrams. Like 20, I was like, how? Like 5 makes me feel like I'm like gonna have an anxiety attack. Like how do you take that much?
Right.
It's crazy.
Do you get the same feeling with Quen? Or
I don't.
No. Okay.
But I don't take much of that. 40 mcgs is the most I'll ever take.
Okay.
So because I'm like sensitive to that stuff.
Yeah.
So I try to use like the minimum effective amount.
Because I never felt sensitive to caffeine. And I feel like I've used Yohimbine before, but never noticed any bad side effects.
I'm good with 5. Which funny story for you. That's off of that. When I was in undergrad, I would always like I had like I don't know how you're like, but I would have like a supplement shelf because I want all these different things in my pre-workout. So I have all these additives and everything else. And eventually I went to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna make my own pre-workout kind of thing. Like, so I got these. So I ordered all the ingredients I wanted in it. And I'm putting them all in my pre-workout. I'm like, maybe in like thinking like, oh, well, I have to make sure that this is safe for other people to take. So I'm going to take 3 times the dosage and make sure that I'm fine. So that other people, if they take too much, they'll be fine too. And then I had the Yohimbine, the 5 milligrams of Yohimbine.
You took 3 of them?
Yeah, plus the caffeine, like everything else that I had in there. I got to the gym and I felt awful.
It's a weird feeling too.
It's terrible. I've never felt that bad in the gym before in my life. I think I got maybe through one set whenever I'm like walking on the treadmill for a little bit, and I was like pale as hell.
Yeah.
My one buddy from undergrad came up to me and was like, dude, are you alright? It's like, no, dude, I need, like, can you actually take me home? he helped me out of the gym, like he drove me back to my apartment.
And dude, the Yohimbine is the most dreadful feeling. It's so hard to explain.
Yeah, it's
you get cold sweats, you get anxious, you get lightheaded. It like makes you feel like this weird, like, but it's like different type of anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like this weird feeling. It's like, oh, it's like,
it's not like your normal anxiety. It's different.
no, it's like dreadful feeling.
Does the pre-workout we've been using have Yohimbine in it?
I'd have to look. Maybe, but if I do, if it does, it's not much.
Usually, if it's in pre-workout, it's like sprinkled in.
Okay.
But still,
You
it's
don't need much.
yeah.
Because the only thing from the pre-workout that we're using right now that I experienced that I've never experienced before is cold sweats. Like, I'm a big sweater in the gym, but and I can't tell if it's just because it's freezing now, and I feel like they kind of keep the gym cool. But I get cold sweats, though.
It doesn't do that to me, so
I take it, because I'm, like, drenched in sweat, but I feel freezing.
I have another good Yohimbine story.
All right, let's hear it.
I messed up more than once the Yohimbine. So there was this other time, and this is like a few years later. I was in college, and when I was in college, I was a GNC manager. So when you're a manager, like all the reps from the different supplement companies will come in, like tell you about their new products, give you free samples, and as a manager, they'll hook you up. They'll give you like tubs of free stuff. So this was at the time that Jay Cutler was partnered with BPI.
Okay.
I think it was BPI, right?
I think so. That sounds right.
And he had like the Jay Cutler Legend pre-workout edition. And it was like the purple container, had the logo Jay with like a crown on it. It was pretty cool. So either way, one of the reps from BPI came in and he gave me the prototype that they had to do away with because it was too strong. And I still have this in my basement. I'll show you. I still have it at my house.
Cool.
That is awesome.
So it's like this prototype with like the barcode ripped off because it's not for sale. And he was like, yo, dude, he was like, I'm going to give this. And I was like good friends with this guy. He would always come in, see me, give me free stuff. And he was like, yo, I'm going to give this to you. He was like, don't give this to anyone else. He was like, this is the prototype. We're reformulating it before we can actually put it on the market. He was like, this is like the version we couldn't go with because it was too strong. He was like, be really careful with it. So it had like this like reduced, like super potent enhanced version of like yohimbine in it and like all these weird ingredients. And it was this super stimulating pre-workout, right? So me and my buddy Todd, who's one of my training partners I grew up with my whole life, we took this stuff and you would feel really good energy, but you would feel like this dreadful, anxious clamminess. You'd be pale, sweaty, cold. This stuff would give you the worst cold sweats. If you took this stuff, it was like automatic cold sweats, like dreadful. It was the weirdest feeling. And it was so hard to explain the way this stuff made you feel. But it was so funny because we would like dare each other to take it. We both took it. We're like, we're never taking that again. And then we'd go to the gym and like, dude, I dare you to take the Jay Cutler Legendary pre-workout, like the banned version. And I still have it in my basement, almost full. Like, we should get someone at the gym to try it.
We should. You want to try it?
I don't think I want to.
You'll get cold sweats like instantly. Like,
jeez.
Oh my goodness.
The cold sweats that's a good descriptor. I think it actually does have 2.5 mil. It's not much, but I'm pretty sure it has 2.5 milligrams per like single scoop. But which I feel like is a good amount. Like anything more than that is probably.
Do you like beta alanine?
I do. I like the flush feeling.
Okay.
I like the placebo effect of like the flush.
I
you
love
know.
it. I love it.
This pre-workout has a lot of beta alanine
I like
in it.
that.
And the first time that I tried it, I took 2 scoops, not realizing. And
2 scoops is a full serving and has double like a traditional like 3.2 is the like
Beta
traditionally-
alanine.
Yeah. It has
See, I like that. I like the beta
yeah,
alanine
it has,
flush.
it has twice of that.
So it's like a heavy flush.
Yeah. It's
I like that though.
I know. I do too.
oh, I thought I like had to get out of my car. Like I was like drinking my
Well-
pre-workout on the way there, and I'm like, oh, my face
But
is
that's
just
the
burning.
thing. If you don't know to expect that,
Right.
it can make you very
Well,
nervous.
I remember the first time I was at college, so I have a heart condition, so I was very, very, very worried about taking pre-workout whenever we first got together.
Supplements in general.
Yeah, supplements in general. I literally had this, he wrote this paper of supplements to
Which I
give to
also
me.
still have.
It's probably
And
like
I-
super reckless. It's like,
I have the first supplement container you gave me too. It was taurine for my low back. But I did not want to take anything stimulating or anything because I was like worried about my heart. And so I remember the first time that I took pre-workout, I think it was probably like Caged or something. But I did not realize that beta alanine was a thing, that it's going to make you tingly
They
all
think you're
over. I literally did not know what was wrong with me, but I remember being in the Liberty Gym parking lot and being like, is it normal? Like my face is tingling so bad. I want to scratch it off. My lips also feel like they're swollen, but whenever I look at them, they're not swollen. I can't tell if I thought I was having an allergic reaction to it. And so I kept looking for hives, but I'm like, I don't have a rash, but I feel like I should have a rash.
that brings me another funny
I
GNC
have
story.
one too, but go ahead.
All right, so this is like, I have so many good GNC stories, man, when I worked there. Like, we'll get into that whole
We should
nother
do a whole
episode. We'll just do a whole
I
GNC
know,
episode.
I know.
So I'm at GNC, I'm working there, and this guy comes in, and you know, I told him what pre-workout I like, and it was one. What the heck was the name of it? It was a really good one. It was a GNC brand one at the time, and it had a lot of beta alanine in it. And I told this guy, like, yeah, this one I recommend you take. It's good. I use it. I like it. So he bought it. He goes to the gym. He was like a newbie. He was a guy, didn't know what he was doing the supplement stuff. So he calls me like 20 minutes later. He took the stuff, went straight to the gym. He calls me freaking out. Hey man, so and so, I was just in your store talking to you. I was like, oh, what's up, man? He's like, dude, I don't know, I'm bugging out a little bit. He's like, I'm a little scared. I'm like, why? What's up? He's like, dude, I'm like, my face is itchy and tingly, and my whole body is like red, and like I'm flushing. He was like, is this normal? Does this happen? And in my mind, I don't know what I was thinking, but like I didn't even think to bring up beta alanine. It just didn't like cross my mind.
It's such like a natural thing for us
Yeah,
at this point.
but like for me, it was like so funny because I remember like it was yesterday. I'm just leaning against like the back wall, like chill as could be. I'm on the phone. I'm like, I don't know, man. I was like, you might want to go to the hospital or something. Like I didn't know what else to say. So that's what I told him, and I felt bad because like it would make you panic even more. But first, even though I knew beta alanine did that, for some reason in my mind at that moment, it was
didn't
just
click.
not. It just didn't click. So I was like, he was like bugging out, and I was like, I don't know, dude. Maybe you should go to the hospital or something just to be safe. Like, because I didn't know what else to say. Because I didn't want him like have like some weird allergic reaction or something. And I just remember it's so funny. Then like a few minutes go by, and I'm like thinking, and I'm like, oh, it's the beta alanine. And I just like, I call him back. I'm like, no, don't go to the hospital. It'll go away. Like, because I felt so bad because I like freaked him out more probably, like because I just totally didn't even think about that. Like
He probably thought he was dying.
yeah, he probably thought he was like dying or something.
It is crazy how fast it does wear off, though. Like, as
Yeah.
soon as you start, like, moving.
But I can understand why it
wears
might
off.
freak someone out if they
Oh
don't
my
know
gosh,
to
yeah.
expect that. Like
Have either of you seen the research on it as far as like benefits?
no.
It's great.
Yeah, but only if it's taken consistently. Which I mean, for most people, it depends if you train every day or not. But if it's not taken every day, there's a build up that you have to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So even if you skip one day,
Yeah, it says, I don't know how significant it sets it back, but it's not as to get the most effectiveness out of it, you have to take it for a certain amount of time. I can't remember what it is. It's a long time. It's like more than a few weeks.
what are the benefits outside of like the
Tingling.
gym? Just tingling.
Just like endurance, better. I think it has to do with lactic acid buffering and like.
I know like it's good for the gym for lactic acid buffering. Does it kind of like niacin, like B vitamins gives you a similar flush, right? Does it have some sort of like detoxifying effect in your blood or anything like that?
Not sure. And that's why I like. I don't know if you take Pico 2 or not. If you've seen the research with Pico 2.
Jim told me about the product you told him to take today. The one for his hematocrit?
Hemoflow.
Hemoflow,
Yes. Yep. That man's got to watch his hematocrit.
yeah.
Like, dude, you need to go donate blood like now.
Right now.
Bodybuilders that I see in the ER for a multitude of different reasons, but I'll check their hemoglobin and hematocrit, and they are sky high.
So it's like a common thing.
And then I'll like ask them about what they're on, and they like try not to tell me, and I'm like, no, I know about doses of certain stuff. Like, let me know.
Show them a picture of Taylor. They got
But they'll like tell me what they're on. And I'm like, okay, when's the last time you gave blood? And they're like, never. And I'm like, never. And then I'll like check it, and they're just like so high, and I'm like, you need to give blood like tomorrow.
Yeah, there's one person in particular that I've been trying to convince that to like donate blood more consistently because it's hematocrit's like 58, 59. But he's just like, dude, like just please. Every time I see him, like, did you donate blood? He's like, no. He's like, do you want to die? Like, go donate blood.
It's scary.
But my story, real quick. When I was growing up, I'm pretty sure this was in high school. Either end of high school or like beginning of college. And I was home, I can't remember. But like how I was saying about earlier, how I like mix all my ingredients together. So I've always kind of done that. So I would have like a bag or a tub of just beta alanine. My stepsister, who was like a few years, I can't remember how many years younger than me she was.
She was younger than me.
So at least 4 years younger than me. So she was either in early high school or in junior high at this point in time. And I offered her a scoop of the beta alanine.
Why? For what?
Well, I was like, here, just try this. Just typical like older brother thing. Just like, here, just try this. She was like, okay. Took it, and then like
Straight without question.
no question asked at all whatsoever. Then like 5 minutes later, she's like freaking out because her face is so itchy, and then she throws up. And then I feel bad, and it was like,
She threw up from
Then I
it.
got in a lot of trouble, but it was funny until that point.
So you gave someone such a dose they vomited from it.
It was not even that I gave her a regular dose. She never lifted weights or never done like taking any supplements. She had no idea what was going on.
That would be really funny though if you're at a party and of course instead of roofing people,
Just giving them beta alanine.
you give them beta alanine and everybody just starts.
Put it in a punch bowl.
Getting itchy at the same time.
Not
Not a bad idea.
I was gonna say we got very far away from training splits
We
and
covered a good amount of time
Exercises,
for an
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Been on over an hour.
Yeah, I'd say so. All right, well, that's episode 3.
I think.
episode 3.
Episode 3, Iron Insight.
Maybe 3 and 4.
Episode 3 of Iron Insights. Catch you next time.
All right.
Submit your best beta alanine story. Or Yohimbine story.